the importance of thoracic extension. So let's take a look here for a second. So thoracic. Thoracic is the part of your spine above your low back, above the lumbar, and below the cervical, below your neck. And if you can see here, all of these thoracic vertebrae attach to ribs. There are these joints that attach each one of them to a rib. And that makes this area very unique because, thank God, we don't have ribs in the lumbar spine nor in the neck. So it creates a lot of stability, but this also means that it compromises mobility in this area. Now, why is doing any kind of thoracic extension exercise so important? Honestly, almost on everyone in the developed world. Because the majority of our days are spent in this horrible flexed position, okay? So when we do this, we literally get jammed in this position, and then when we try to lift our head, you can see what's happening at the neck, you can see what's happening at the lumbar spine, and this whole area adapts and becomes even more rigid. On a good day, in between each vertebra, you have 3 to 4 degrees of movement. That's not a lot. Put together, we have a really big amount of movement. But what if you have no idea, in this area, after years of school and sitting and all that and work, is basically becoming this locked up place, kind of like a stick. It doesn't move anymore. What happens when that happens? All the movement from looking for your blind spot when you're driving to picking up a sock all the movement is gonna occur at 1 to 2 lumbar vertebra or 1 to 2 cervical vertebra. Anyone ever heard of low back pain by any chance? Do you know anyone that didn't have it at one point or another? Same thing with neck pain. So mobilizing this part is massively important for the health of the whole spine. You won't know that now, as opposed to doing this move and hurting your neck to go look at your blind spot. You won't know once we mobilize this, but you will actually use your whole spine and do an incredible amount of sparing, of overuse at these segments. So I want to give you a simple example that's possibly accessible to a lot of people at a gym. Disclaimer, at Sterling Structural Therapy, we specialize in chronic pain conditions. We usually add this exercise around session 7 or 8, making sure the whole body is ready. Chronic pain population you have to be careful with. So if you're not someone that's suffering from chronic pain, the next 2 examples, you can test them out, but always listen to your healthcare provider and always stay safe. If it hurts, it's wrong. If it feels kind of good, it's great. So we're gonna use a prop that exists in almost every single gym to first demonstrate this. And I'm gonna call Aaron over in our fascia suit so you can have a good visual of what that does to your thoracic spine, but also to your fascia. So Aaron's gonna have a seat, and then he's just going to start to scoot his feet forward. Yep, keep going. Place the hands behind the head to support the neck, elbows in, and then arch back as far as it feels good with the head and neck. Good, you can let them go even further back with the head. That's it, good. Now, right now, the majority of the extension is happening right here. If we scoot the pelvis forward a bit more, it'll happen right here, which is where you mostly want it. So this is where you want to get the most amount of extension. And if you want to work that area a bit, just roll back and forth, and it should just feel kind of nice, basically. If it doesn't, abort, okay? So this is a great tool that most of us have access to, easily purchase it on Amazon at the gym, okay? Now, I showed you what happens to the vertebrae. You're mobilizing them out of that years of, computer work, etc. But if you can see, it also stretches the fascia in the front of the body. Stretching the fascia in the front of the body is very important, right? We've all seen the people who are walking around like this. They're literally jammed in this position now. It's not something that you want for yourself. You want the ability to stand up straight. So this is good for your spine health and good for posture, mobility, and function. Aaron, let's come up out of there, and thank you so much. You can walk off, good. And I'm gonna show you one other tool because this involves more balance for obvious reasons. This little thing, Bosubal, is the brand name, is a wonderful tool because You can do the same exercise by sitting down, putting your butt right up against and bending backwards, but for obvious reasons, this is stable and solid and not gonna roll around on you. So you have balance issues, this would be your friend, okay? There are many other variations, but bottom line, please try to find something. If I had it all my way, I'd have everyone do it once per day minimum, but at least several times per week to mobilize this entire giant part of your spine. One other point. If you participate in any rotation sport, golf, right, any kind of club, any kind of pickleball, tennis, etc., this part of your spine, that thoracic spine, is where your facet joints, the spinal joints at the side, are optimized for rotation. So if this isn't mobilized, you're actually hurting yourself even more and you're not able to produce as much torque. Okay, so very much so your friend, if you do rotation sports, you need this even more than everyone else. You need it a couple times per day.